Hello and welcome back to a new video, a year later almost. But anyways, I'm in the biggest reading slump of my life. I'm not kidding, it's so bad. My problem is that I always get into a reading slump when I have time to read. But when I'm like in school and I don't have that much time to read, then I read way more than when I have time. It's very weird and I don't like it, and I hate reading slumps, but I have them so often. It's awful. But I have a couple of books on my physical TBR, so maybe to motivate myself and get back into reading, I could make a video to show the world my physical TBR and go through every book. I don't have that many books, but my physical TBR isn't that small either, and some books are part of a series or are a completed series, and I think we're just gonna start. I have all my physical TBR books here and we will just start. So first, it's so embarrassing. I have the 8th book. It's not the final book, but the 8th book of Zodiac Academy. I started the series like 2 years ago? I don't know. But I really enjoyed the series up to book like 5, and then I was like, okay, I love these characters, but we can move on now. Like, it's getting dragged out way too long. This was supposed to be the last book, but then they just came out with a 9th book, which is the final book. But the reason I haven't finished the series yet is because these books just keep getting bigger and bigger, and I know if I'm gonna continue this series and read the 8th book and then the 9th, I'm not gonna read the physical copies because this is so heavy and so chunky, and the font is like so small. Like, what the heck? It's so small! Yeah, if I'm continuing the series, I will read it on my Kindle because I'm too weak to hold this book like for hours. So I hope I will finish this series one day because I love these characters, but the story keeps on getting dragged out too long. I don't know. Moving on. Next up, we have also the next book of a series, The Sunshine Court by Nora Sakavic, and this is the 4th book of the All for the Game series, which I read, I think, last year. And this was originally a trilogy, but now, like, I don't know, 10 years later or something like that, she just came out with a 4th book, which follows another character who we have met in the previous books. This series is like, I think, a guilty pleasure for everyone who loves it because it's so unhinged and it's so crazy, but I kind of love it. It's just about this made-up sport, which I literally can't remember the name of. Anyways, and it's just about a bunch of gay sports dudes. I don't know. I just love it. It's like, it's so unserious, but I can't help but love it. So I think this one will be the book I will pick up next when I feel like I'm getting out of my reading slump. Next we have, also I haven't mentioned, every book or series or so that I have here is queer. It could be that the main characters are queer or something along those, somewhere along the lines of a series, the book, there is queer side characters or there is a queer storyline. Next up we have The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. This is also one in a series or trilogy, I believe, but I will read the blog. Terrain is a soldier. Sorry for mispronouncing names, by the way, I'm bad at it. Stolen as a child and raised to kill and die for the Empire, she owes loyalty only to her fellow conscripts. But now she has been sent back to her homeland to stop a rebellion, and the ties of blood may be stronger than she thought. Luca needs a turncoat, someone who can sway the rebels towards peace, while Luca focuses on what really matters, winning back her throne. Through assassination and massacres in bedrooms and wardrooms, Terrain and Luca will haggle over the price of a nation, but some things aren't for sale. I'm very excited. I love sapphic books. Yeah, this one. Then we have also another first book of a series, Girls of Paper and Fire. I got it for my birthday like last year or the year before, I don't remember. But it's also sapphic. Each year, 8 beautiful girls are chosen as paper girls to serve the king. It's the highest honor they could hope for, and the most demeaning. This year, there's a ninth, and instead of paper, she's made of fire. I won't read the rest of it, because if I read everything, this video will be like 4 hours long. But it's sapphic, and I'm excited. Next, we have 2 books of a series, The Naturals and Killer Instinct, which are book 1 and 2 of the Natural series. And I wanted to read these books for so long, but yeah. There are 4 books in the series, I only have the first 2. And I also started the first book, but I only got up to chapter 3, which is page 20, and I haven't continued yet. But it's basically about these teenagers who are hired by the FBI to solve cases, and they have special abilities like to read emotions. They're very good with statistics and stuff. So yeah, I love like that's so cool. Teenagers who are hired by the FBI, like what the heck. But I'm very excited for these as well. Next up, we have a completed trilogy. It's this one. It's gay. We love it. I will read this blurb because it's very short. Simon Snow is the worst chosen one who has ever been chosen. Half the time, Simon can't even make his wand work, and the other half he set something on fire. His mentor is avoiding him, his girlfriend broke up with him, and there's a magic-eating monster running around wearing Simon's face. His rumored best would be having a field day with all this, if he were here. It's their last year at the Watford School of Magics. And Simon's infuriating nemesis didn't even bother to show up. Like, it's boarding school, magic, gay. Like, what more could you want? And it's a trilogy, and yeah, I'm very excited for this one as well, obviously. Let's continue with another trilogy. It's these ones. It's I think the Bone Shard series. I think it's sapphic. I literally can't remember what's happening in these. Okay. The Imperious reign has lasted for decades, his mastery of bone shard magic powering the animal-like constructs that maintain law and order. But now his rule is failing, and revolution is sweeping across the Empire's many islands. When the Emperor refuses to recognize his daughter as heir to the throne, she vows to prove her worth by mastering the forbidden art of bone shard magic. Yet such magic carries a deadly cost, which is exciting. And I mean, I love saphics. I am sapphic. Next up, we have another series. It's the Raven Cycle series by Maggie's Stiefvater. And these are 4 books, and these are pretty old. This is a pretty old series, I think. It's basically about, I think, this girl who's under a curse or something, and if she kisses her true love will die, or something like that. And yeah, I'm very excited for these. It's also, I think it's also kind of set boarding school type of setting, so I love that. Then we have, I think, book 1 in another sapphic series. It's this one, The Midnight Light by Marie Rutkowski. I got this from a friend. It says, in a word, life is grim and punishing. Crime abounds, a harsh tribunal rules, and society's pleasures are forbidden. Miriam keeps her head down and the dangerous secret close to her chest. But then she meets Sid, a rakish traveler from far away, who whispers rumors of magic. Magic can grant Miriam a better life, but to seek it she will have to surrender everything she's ever known, and place her trust in a sly stranger who asks above all not to be trusted. Kind of exciting. Then we have a duology, which is very rare for me because I normally don't pick up duology. It's also sapphic. It's Gear Breakers and the second book, God Slayers. So very exciting. These are kind of sci-fi books, I think. Just above the front of my overalls, the black dots that scatter across my collarbone are flattened, and underneath the white shirt, one tiny ink gear for each takeover. 87 gears. 87 mechers scraped from the skyline. I know what makes the webs tick, and each time I grip inside their limbs, I know precisely which pieces to pluck and shatter to make the entire atrocity collapse like a house of cards. Because as much as Godolia likes to preach otherwise, the lines between their deities and scrap metal can be snipped away by a simple human hate. I grin at my reflection. I won't say I'm synonymous with chaos, not truly. If this word has taught me anything, it's that humans have no right playing pretend at being gods. But I am a gear breaker, and that comes pretty damn close. And look at these covers. I think these covers are so cool. Next up, we have something very rare. I think this is a contemporary romance. It's sapphic, so that's great. I normally don't read rom-coms or contemporary romance unless it's queer. This is basically about her, this girl, Imogen, who is ally, but she's straight. But then I think her friend at university tells her other friends that Imogen is her ex-girlfriend, but like she's straight. But then she maybe discovers that she might be not that straight. I didn't summarize this probably the best, but it looks sweet. I like this cover, it's cute. Then we have also something a little bit different, not fantasy. Fantasy is normally my go-to genre, but it's this one. It Goes Like This by Miel Moreland. Look at this cover, it's so cute. It's so cute. Oh my god. Okay. So, Ava, Celeste, Gina, and used to think the friendship was unbreakable. After all, they've been through a lot together, including the astronomical rise of Moonlight Overthrow, the world-famous queer pop band they formed in middle school, never expecting to headline anything bigger than the county fair. But after a sudden falling out leads to the dissolution of the team's band, their friendship, and Ava and Celeste's starry-eyed romance, nothing is the same. Gina and Celeste step further into the spotlight. Step disappears completely, and Ava, heartbroken, takes refuge as a songwriter and secret online fangirl of her own band. That is, until a storm devastates their hometown, bringing the four ex-best friends back together. As they prepare for one last show, they'll discover whether growing up always means growing apart. This sounds very cute, like a story about friendship. It sounds pretty cute. Next up, we have the first 2 books of a queer fantasy series. I think there are 4 books out by now. I only have book 1 and book 2. It's A Dark and Hollow Star. I think the series also is called A Dark and Hollow Star. And the second book, A Cruel and Faded Light. Choose your player. The half-fae outcast desperate for acceptance. The tempestuous, yeah, very good with pronunciation, Fury, hellbent on revenge. The dutiful prince, determined to earn his place. The brooding guardian, burdened by a terrible secret. Each host holds a key to solving a series of murders that threaten to expose fairies to the human world. But they cannot do it alone. To track down the killer, they will have to form a tenuous alliance, putting their differences and conflicts aside. Failure risks the destruction of the fairy and human worlds alike. And time is running out. I'm very excited for these. I think there's a sapphic main couple, but there's also, I think, a gay couple, maybe another couple, I don't know. But I'm very excited for these. Like, these are on my radar for so long. Like, I'm excited. Then we have a standalone, which it's rare for me to pick up a standalone, I have to admit. But yeah, it's The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling. I've already read her other 2 books, This Coven Won't Break and These Switches Won't Burn or something like that. I really enjoyed it. It's also sapphic and I think this cover is so cute. So cool. So, we're not supposed to be turned this young. My brain is stuck at 17 and everything I feel is heightened. It makes me too close to humanity. The others, they think it's foolish. The ability to love like this, to hurt like this, but I can't shut it off. Her touch leaves my hand, and the loss of warmth hurts worse than the brightest sun. But then her fingers brush my face, wiping away tears I forgot were there. I don't think it's foolish to want someone to love you. It's so cute. And there it reads, death drew them together, life could tear them apart. It's gonna be heartbreaking. But I love a good sapphic book. Then we have the first book of an ongoing series. I think, is the second book out yet? I think the second book might be out by now. But I only have the first book because it looks stunning and it's very big. It's The Aspect of Essence by Samantha Amstutz. And I think it has a college setting and stuff. Like, I won't read the back because it's like so long. But I think it's a fantasy romance and I think there's like a trainee romance kind of thing. I think it's set in college or like an academy type of thing. So, and I think it's about elves, and yeah, I'm very bad at explaining, but I'm so excited for this. I kind of want to annotate it. That's why I bought the physical copy. I think it's on Kindle Unlimited as well, but I want to read the physical copy, I think, because, yeah. And I think the dedication is so cute. For anyone who feels at home behind the pages of a book, you're not alone. This fantasy world is for you. That's so cute. It's so cute. And it also has a freaking beautiful map in it. Like, we love a good fantasy world map. Yeah, excited. Next up, we have another series. It's the series. It's the Locket Tomb. I think that's how it's called. We have Gideon the Ninth, Nona the Ninth, and Harrow the Ninth, and I think there might be a fourth book out by now. I don't know. But I'm like, the only thing I can describe the series is lesbians in space. Like, that's how it's described by everyone on the internet, I feel like. So, necromancy, lesbians in space, or something like that. Then we have the first book of, I think, a 5-book series. It's Storm, the first book of the Elemental series by Bridget Kammerer. I kind of want to read or start reading from this author because I don't know why. I just feel like her books are like, maybe they feel like they could really, I could really enjoy them. So this is the first book. This book in particular is not queer, but as the series goes on, I think there's a queer character or something like that. Becca Chandler is suddenly getting all the guys, all the ones she doesn't want, ever since her ex-boyfriend spread those lies about her. Then she saves Chris Merrick from a beating in the school parking lot. Chris is different, way different. He can control water, just like his brothers can control fire, wind and earth. They're powerful, dangerous, marked for death. And now that she knows the truth, so is Becca. Secrets are hard to keep when your life's at stake. When Hunter, the mysterious new kid around school, turns up with the talent for being in the wrong place at the right time, Becca thinks she can trust him. But then Hunter goes head to head with Chris, and Becca wonders who's hiding the most dangerous truth of all. The storm is coming. I'm kind of excited. So I'm very excited. I know this is not particularly queer, but I think I could still enjoy it, even though I don't like reading about straight people, but it's okay. Next up, we have Sapphic murder mystery crime type of book. It's How to Find a Missing Girl by Victoria Lossock. This, if you don't pay attention to the bloodstains here, this cover looks really cute. So, it reads: a year ago, beloved cheerleader Stella Blackthorne vanished. Devastated, her younger sister Iris launched her own investigation. But all she managed to do was to scare off the police's only lead and a stern warning. Once she turns 18, more battling means jail time. Then Iris's ex-girlfriend Heather goes missing too, just after dropping the polarizing last episode of a true crime podcast all about Iris's sister. This time, nothing will stop Iris and her amateur sleuthing agency from solving these disappearances. But with a suspicious detective watching her every move, an enemy turned friend turned maybe more to contend with, and only 30 days until she turns 18. It's a race against the clock for Iris to solve the most dangerous case of her life. Interspersed with immersive podcast episode transcripts, this propulsive thriller will immediately pull readers into small town secrets and a desperate search for the truth. Which sounds exciting. I love a good murder mystery. I haven't read a ton of them yet, but I love a good murder mystery, so I'm excited for this one. It looks like, and even look at the page chapters, they're like, I think, stains or something like that. It looks so good. It looks so good. And I think this is a debut novel. I think that's the first book from this author, so excited. Then we have a series or a duology that I'm very scared of because the books are so massive. It's these two books. It's The Priory of the Orange Tree and A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. And like, I'm sorry, but what the heck? Look how big these books are. How am I ever gonna read these? I mean, I read big books, but not that big. But it's, all I know about these is that it's sapphic and I think they're dragons or something like that. So yeah, I think everyone knows what these are about, but these are massive. But I love these covers. I love dragons, and like, it has also foiling on it and it's shiny and it's so pretty. So pretty! Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. these are heavy. Oh my gosh. Help. Oh gosh. Ugh. Next up, we have book 1 and 2 of a trilogy. When I bought these 2 books, the trilogy wasn't completed yet. The last book wasn't out yet, so I only have book 1 and 2. But it's The Bone Spindle and The Severed Thread by Leslie Vedder. It reads as follows. Some curses are meant to be broken. Fee is a bookish treasure hunter with a knack for ruins and riddles who definitely doesn't believe in true love. Shane is a tough as dirt warrior who likes cracking skulls, pretty girls, and doing things her own way. Briar Rose is a prince under a sleeping curse who's been waiting 100 years for the kiss that will wake him. Cursed princes are nothing but ancient history to Fee. Until she pricks her finger on a bone spindle while exploring a long-lost ruin. Now she's stuck with the spirit of Briar Rose until she and Shane can break the century-old curse on his kingdom. Dark magic, witch hunters, and bad axes all stand in her way. Not to mention a mysterious witch who might wind up stealing Shane's heart along with whatever else she's after. But nothing scares Fee more than the possibility of falling in love with Briar Rose. Set in a lush world inspired by beloved fairy tales, The Bone Spindle is a fast-paced fantasy full of adventure, romance, fun family, and snark. I'm very excited because I think these 2 are the main characters, and I think both of them have romances, and I think one of the romances is sapphic. But look at these covers. What the heck? Oh my gosh. And I only like people on covers if they're illustrated. So these books are gorgeous. Like, look at the back. Sorry. Drifting off. Next up, we have a book I already started, and I also started annotating, which is just like the classics by Emilia Critchley. I think maybe this is the first book of this author, I don't know. But it's sapphic. So, Jinx is cold, careful, and keeps to herself. She's hardly the type you'd approach, constantly wearing her headphones, always absorbed in her own world, writing at any given time. Vivian is sweet, kind, but awkward and painfully quiet. She will go out of her way to help her friends. She always puts others first, but is often lost in the words of the books she reads. The 2 have been rivals their entire lives. They were never not at each other's throats in high school, and when they reach college they hope they don't have to see each other again. However, these plans of hope are abruptly thrown off course when they find they share a class and their rivalry sparks up again. Yeah, I also think there are a few mistakes in the blurb. But I already started this. I'm at page 66. I started annotating it a little bit and I think it's cute, but I read this at a time where I was like getting into a reading slump, which I'm still in, so. But it's cute. I really wanna finish this. I liked what I read so far, but I can't really say anything else yet. So we are getting near the end, and the next book is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I've heard mixed reviews about this series. Some people hate it, some people love it. Either way, this book looks stunning. Like, the naked cover for this book is like so cool, and I kind of want to display it on my shelf, which I have yet to organize. But like, look at it, so cool. And like, there are end pages in the back, and there's character art throughout. Wait, look at this. I hope the other 2 books in the series, which I do not own yet, are also stunning, because look at this. It looks so good, so good. It's like the character art, dude. Yeah, wait, where's the blurb? Seek it if you wish, but as with all knowledge, whatever follows will be yours to bear alone. Each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond the wildest dreams, but at what cost? Each of the 6 newest recruits has their reasons for accepting the society's elusive invitation, even if it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies, or risking unforgivable betrayal from their most trusted allies. They will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of the Alexandrians, even if it means they won't all survive the year. Even if I won't like this book, like, I just can't keep looking at it because it looks so stunning. Like, what the heck? So, next up we have Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I read it when it came out, but I haven't read it yet. I think I started it. I think I read the epilogue, or not even the whole epilogue, I don't know. But this is Cassandra Clare's first adult fantasy book, yeah, I think I need to explain what it's about because Cassandra Clare is like well known, but still the spine of the naked book, like what the heck, there's nothing in the front, but there's like this map. Is there something in the back? Yes. It's the same map? Yeah, it's the same map on both sides. But yeah, it's like so thick, that's why I'm kind of scared, and I'm kind of scared that I won't like it because I love her Shadowhunter books, but I don't know if I will love this one. You have to read it and find out. Next up, it's like almost the last one. Like it's the last of the normal books. It's Life is Strange, Steph's story. If you need to know one thing about me, it's that I am a very big gamer and I love the Life is Strange and I love the Life is Strange franchise with my whole heart. I love it. I love all games. I just love it. And this is about Steph. Obviously, it says Steph's story. And I love Steph. She's like one of my favorite characters ever. And this just follows her, I think, like before the events of Life is Strange True Colors, the game. And just like in the game, we hear about her ex-girlfriend and her band she was in. And then we get to see how they meet, how they got together, how they formed this band, and I like this quote on the back. It says, "So, what kind of lesbian are you? The kind that likes girls?" Same. I love it. It's so cool. And yeah, I love Steph and I'm really excited to read more about her because she's so good. She's so cool. She's so cool. And then we have something else Life is Strange related, and these are comics. I already read the first 3 comics of this series. There's still these Polaroids in there. I think these are so cool. I'm not a big comic reader, but these are so good. The first 3, I loved them. And it's basically about kind of a parallel universe, or at the end, I don't want to spoil the end of the first game if someone hasn't played it yet and still wants to, who knows. But it's basically at the end of the first game you have to make a big choice, and the comics follow basically the events or what would happen if one of the choices was canon. And so we follow, it's about parallel universes, parallel timelines, I don't know. It's basically we follow Max, Chloe, Rachel, like these are the main characters, and I love it. I love to see those 3 together because we don't see them together as a trio, and it's very exciting. And I think, I'm sorry, but these comics look so good, and I think like the art, like the style of these comics is like so pretty. It's so cool. But yeah, these are the 3 comics I still have to read. There are more Life is Strange books. I don't know if out or they will come out, but I want to read them too. That's it with my physical TBR. I think this video turned out longer than I would have hoped for, but well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I will get out of my reading slump very soon because I hate being in a reading slump, but I'm why does this always happen to me? I'm in a reading slump like 3 times a year and it lasts for like a month or more. But anyways, this was my physical TBR. I have a new background. I made this little reading background corner and I really like it. Like, look at this pride flag. Like, what the heck? It's so cool. Anyways, yeah, and I look at, like, I'm in my reading room, but it's like so not ready yet. Maybe I will make like a video series where I make this reading room cozy. Okay, this was it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I will see you in the next video whenever that might be. Bye!